Hello everyone. For this particular session, I'm actually here in person, which is a bit different from what you usually see on screen. You can think of this as a very helpful video that introduces the practical exam for the Barista Coordinator Level 2 course organized by the Global Hotel Service Education Association. I believe that watching this video before you actually begin your practical training or take the exam will prove to be incredibly beneficial and provide a lot of assistance. The exam process consists of about 3 minutes of preparation and then 9 minutes of the actual exam, making it approximately 12 minutes in total. I'm going to explain the exam process in detail, breaking it down step by step, so I believe watching this video will be more than enough to help you successfully pass. Alright, first off, when taking the practical exam, the most crucial thing, of course, is this. While knowing how to operate the machines is important, the most crucial aspect is maintaining a neat appearance. In my specific situation, because my hair is quite long, I typically wear it in a half ponytail. Furthermore, any nail art or long fingernails must be attended to and tidied up in advance. Failure to do so will unfortunately result in disqualification. And you always have to wear an apron, as it's a mandatory requirement. While pants don't matter as much, you also need to make sure to wear a neat and proper dress shirt. And for footwear, absolutely no slippers are allowed. You must certainly wear athletic shoes. In the barista field, while possessing the skill to operate individual equipment is crucial, ultimately, the essence lies in providing excellent service. For optimal service, it's paramount to maintain a neat appearance and a friendly, smiling demeanor. Therefore, meticulously checking these aspects is absolutely essential. Alright, so next, you'll need 2 dry linen cloths, 2 dry linen cloths, and 2 wet cloths. That's how you'll organize them. Whether with your left hand or your right, you hold them up like this, then raise your hand and say, "I am Kim Jun-il," and the barista practical exam will now commence. Then, the examiner will press the start button, and the evaluation will commence for exactly 12 minutes. While it doesn't matter if you exceed 12 minutes, please note that you won't be disqualified for going over the time limit. However, keep in mind that there are deduction penalties for every minute you exceed the time limit, so you must be mindful of that and quickly develop the habit of moving swiftly. Now, you have the wet linen, right? Fold it neatly in half. Fold it and then fold it in half again. And one last time, fold it again. You'll set one of these linen cloths on top of the machine. The other linen cloth will be folded just 2 times, since we folded the last one 3 times. Fold it once. Yes, folding it twice results in this shape. This elongated folded linen, as you can see, is placed underneath the knock box. There, you're going to tuck it right under the knock box. Held up like this. Yes, set it up just like this. Now the reason we do it this way is because now, when you rinse the portafilter, this part here must not be wet. So, to wipe that moisture away, you place the linen under the knot box. And that's how you'll use it. Now if you look here, all the moisture is wiped away, right? And you also fold the wet cloth neatly into a square shape like this with one piece designated for the counter. And the other, you will now carefully position it under the drip tray, precisely where the steam wand is located. Okay, so this completes the pre-preparation. Once you're done, grab the cloth placed on the tray, and then give it a single wrap around the steam wand that we are going to be using now. However, occasionally, when wrapping, some people tend to grasp it with their hand. If you turn on the machine in this position, it will become very hot. That is why you must always hold the very edge of the cloth using just your fingertips. Yes, the extreme end. Then, very carefully, you'll want to gently turn your knob. Then, activate it to eliminate any residual gas or impurities that might be present inside the system beforehand and ensure it's clean. Alright, after wiping that down, you then detach one side of the portafilter. Perform a water flushing, but only for precisely 3 seconds. Yes, you can consider this process similarly as an extraction to eliminate any leftover residue or impurities from within. And now, the portafilter again. This is then inserted. The next step in the process is, for the preliminary demonstration, there's a cup warming process. Next, go ahead and carefully pick up the steam wand right from the top of the machine. You carefully position it right here, underneath the spout from which the hot water pours out. On the machine's far left side, you'll find a button that resembles a water droplet. Press this button, and once you do, hot water will begin to flow out. Once you believe it has filled adequately, press the button once more to dispense the hot water. Next, you should prepare 2 mugs. In our Barista Coordinator course, there isn't a specific assessment solely focused on evaluating espresso per se. Instead, the evaluation will be conducted with 2 Americanos and 1 cafe latte. For that purpose, we have these cups ready. 1 cup here is for the hot Americano, and this other one is for the cafe latte. You prepare 2 cups, and then you pour water over the portafilter that still has some grounds left in it. Okay, I'll dispose of the remaining grounds here. Alright, once that's complete, please remove one of the portafilters. You should wipe it clean, using the cloth that is under the nut box. After wiping it, I will press the brewing button located on the left side of the machine to dispense water into the open settler cup. Alright, once you've accumulated what you need, just bring it directly over and carefully place it down on this tamping mat. Now, to hold the tamper, you'll want to use your index finger and thumb. And then, you'll need to make sure your elbow is pointing directly towards the ceiling, so it's in the correct position for tamping. And then we proceed to tamp the coffee grounds. Next, you will again press the 2-shot button on this machine to conduct the water flushing process. Okay, once that's done, now we will insert the precisely dosed portafilter into the machine for brewing. When you insert it, placing it at the 7 o'clock position helps it fit right, just a tip. Next, the shot glass. Place it here and press the double shot button to start the extraction. Now this is an important part of the extraction process. Remember earlier how we used this coffee machine to grind the beans? So, because these finely ground coffee particles can adhere to the machine or even settle on the floor, you'll need a brush to maintain cleanliness. To sweep away the coffee grounds. Stop it, and since there are coffee grounds here in the knock box, and then take the shot glass with the pre-extracted espresso and place it right next to the machine. The pre-warmed cup. Now place the cup right there too. Since there's water here and we can't have any moisture remaining, you'll need to wipe it thoroughly. Now, when wiping, please be mindful that this cup is quite hot because it has been preheated with hot water. Make sure to hold it with care and gently remove all the moisture from the surface. Alright, this used coffee, put it back in its proper place. This steam wand has moisture. So shake it off, then turn it upside down and put it away. Now that we've done the extraction, we need to clean up, right? Remove the portafilter and knock it on the box. When you tap it, all the coffee grounds that have been pulverized will collect right inside the box. And now, I'm going to press the 2-shot button to give the machine a good and thorough rinse. And then, lock it in. With that, the preparation phase is complete. Now we'll proceed with the demonstration, and the exam process is exactly the same. Then, you'll raise your hand and clearly state, Barista Kim Junil, I am prepared to commence the Americano practical examination. Next, place the mug that you had previously filled. Before you do that, you'll need to set up the cup saucer first. Please do that. You should first arrange the cup stands on the serving table located on the left side, setting them up in advance. After that, next, you will need to take this very mug and fill it with hot water. Fill this ice bucket with ice. After adding the ice, fill it with water to about 70%. And here we have the 2 pre-extracted shots from earlier. I will now proceed to pour both of these directly into the prepared vessel. After pouring the shot, you'll place the hot Americano right onto the designated saucer. Alright, now, take the iced Americano and carefully place it right next to the hot Americano. After that, all you need to do is turn towards the judges and begin the serving process. Once you're done, you must raise your hand and state, Barista Kim Jun-il will now commence the cafe latte demonstration. Failure to do so will result in a deduction of points. Therefore, it is imperative that you complete this step. We set up the saucer first, didn't we, when the hot Americano came out just a moment ago? Similarly, since the cafe latte is a hot beverage, you'll first need to set up the cup saucer and spoon on the serving table. So, let's go ahead and do that before anything else. You immediately detach the portafilter and wipe it clean with a cloth. In a similar manner, please fill it with the coffee beans that have already been ground. Similarly, when you tamp, make sure your elbow is pointing up towards the sky. Alright, you should always use freshly ground coffee beans. Before you load it for extraction, you absolutely must perform a water flushing. The reason for this water flushing is to remove any residual coffee grounds or liquid that might remain inside, preventing potential hygiene issues. Therefore, it's essential to always perform water flushing. It has become an ingrained habit. Alright, once you've completed that, lock it in. Now this cafe latte cup. Place it right here. Then, press the 2-shot button to begin the extraction process. While the extraction is in progress, promptly grab the steam wand and pour the milk. When pouring the milk, just fill it to below the spout of the steam wand. Alright, when you first get ready to grab the steam wand, normally, there are some people who tend to hold it this way. They simply grab it and pour, but you absolutely should not do it like that. If you hold it this way, you won't be able to draw a heart, and it's a completely incorrect method, so you really shouldn't hold it like that. Alright, first, create a pincer grip with your thumb and index finger, then grip the cup's bottom part. Go ahead and hold it this way initially. Once you've gripped it firmly, you then take your other 3 fingers and wrap them around the rest of this section here. When you wrap them around, it offers support and gives you a firm, proper grip, just like this. This is how you can then pour the latte. Next up is the cafe latte cup. You should hold the cup in a very particular way, making certain that the cup's handle is positioned directly in front of your chest. So, the proper way is like this. When pouring the steam, hold the cup at a 45-degree angle. And also, at a 45-degree angle, maintain a distance of about 10 centimeters between the cup and the steam pitcher. Begin by swirling to achieve stability. Once stability is reached, you simply raise the pitcher along with the cup. Got it? Alright, the next step is to wrap the steam wand around the milk pitcher and purge it to prepare for steaming. Purge it and now lower the steam wand. As you lower it, while keeping it attached just ever so slightly, angle it toward the 5 o'clock position. You'll want to submerge the steam wand just about 1.5 centimeters into the milk. After that, you'll hear the steam begin to hiss and whoosh as it froths the milk. Turn it off. The steam wand and the steam pitcher are now attached, right? Lift and bring it straight down. This method effectively removes any remaining impurities. Yes, it specifically prevents any milk droplets from dripping, allowing you to carefully bring it straight down, holding it securely in place. Alright, so after that, you wipe it down thoroughly, then you can purge the steam wand. So then, we also remove any remaining milk powder or impurities that are still inside here. Once you've done that, hold the steam pitcher and start rolling it with your hand. To ensure that the milk and the foam are thoroughly blended together, you'll roll it gently. When you tap it on the counter, cover it with your palm and give it a gentle swirl. Alright, and then when you're holding it, you shouldn't grip it like this. Your palm will get incredibly hot. So, if you hold the cup in this manner with your fingers, it really won't feel hot. I'm going to grasp the sticky tea pitcher with my thumb and forefinger and then carefully pour it directly into the cup. And then, after preparing it, you'll place it on the serving table to proceed with serving. Let me show you the materials clearly and concisely. And now, when you are serving, if you do so with an unsmiling, expressionless face, that could also potentially lead to a deduction of points. Since this is within the service field, our constant goal is always to serve coffee to our customers. When you're serving, you should always do so with a warm smile. And with that pleasant demeanor, you should say, "Here is the Americano you ordered." You absolutely must say, "Please enjoy your drink." And the same goes for the cafe latte. "Here is the cafe latte you ordered. Please enjoy." You need to do that. All right? Once that's finished. Now, you need to begin the cleanup process. First, take this remaining steam pitcher and the cafe latte cup. And also the hot Americano and the iced Americano. And also the 2 shot glasses. Please pour all of these contents into the sink now. Alright, now that everything's thoroughly washed, take the linen from the machine top and wipe it down. And then meticulously wipe it clean and return it to its designated spot for the subsequent test takers. And also the table mat and the spoon that you used for serving. Return these to normal. Return them to their original positions. Once everything is wiped down, take the floor cloth. It's likely quite dirty from our earlier tasting, and make sure to give the machine a good wipe as well. Wipe this part as well. After wiping it down, you'll use the brush, and then, last but not least, you'll tidy up the grinder. And then, the linens that were used during the process. Take them out again. You should also grab the used linens and the cleaning cloths that you finished using. Alright, after completing the final cleanup, pick up the linens you brought, raise your hand, and declare, Barista Kim Joo-neil's practical exam is concluded, and then you are finished. Écrivier. It might feel like you don't have abundant time, but with just a bit more practice, you'll surely be able to complete the entire process within the given time frame. So, I genuinely hope you watch this video often and diligently put what you've learned into practical use. With that, I will now conclude this session.